From the food you put on the grill to the gas you put in your tank, prices for so many things, as you know, are soaring. But so far, the cost of alcohol has remained steady. In fact, Americans are expected to spend an estimated $1.4 billion on beer and wine this weekend. That is slightly less than what they spent in 2019 before the pandemic. But as Scott MacFarlane shows us, there are new warnings about a summer of what can be called boozeflation.
On his farm in Brookville, Maryland, brewer Phil Muth grows some of his own hops. But Muth has noticed something else more pernicious has taken root. Inflation. The cost of buying hops, barley, and grain has skyrocketed, partly from a war that's interrupted production of those ingredients in the breadbasket of the world, Ukraine.
I had sticker shock this year when I saw what the bill was.
U.S. supply chain disruptions have also slammed their industry, and not just for the ingredients.
But our most difficult thing at one time was the cans, the packaging.
The cans themselves.
Yes, there was a shortage.
The disruptions have been so expensive and so severe, they and others scrambled to find a company in China to ship packaging supplies for their brews. And they warn there's a bubble about to burst in their industry.
We haven't yet jacked up our prices.
You're absorbing it.
We're absorbing it, but we're seeing our margin get shifted down. So we're having to make decisions right now about where do we raise prices, how do we raise prices, those kinds of things.
A risk of boozeflation is forming in many sectors of this remarkably vast industry that ranges from cans on the shelf to fine wines, distilleries, and tourism-focused wineries and brewpubs. Where are you seeing it?
You're seeing it in some of the items that cannot be bought in bulk. Some of the more defined craft items. People are having to pay, manufacturers are having to pay a lot more money to actually get those products to the shelf.
Kathy Durbin runs the Department of Liquor Control in Montgomery County, Maryland, says gas prices are adding to the pressure.
The heavier products are going to cost more to ship.
Literally the heavier products?
Literally, yeah. I think the shipping is going to be a big issue for people.
Until now, according to U.S. Department of Labor statistics, beer, wine, and spirits have all fared better in this year of inflation as prices have increased more gradually than those for food and groceries. Partly because of the heavy competition in the industry, all fighting for shelf space, all angling against and willing to undercut each other.
Being in business is tough. I mean, it's not a walk down, the easy street here. Every business in the economy, not just brewers and distributors and retailers in the beer industry, but pretty much everyone is struggling with the same supply constraints.
Back at the brewery, the Muths say they know trouble is stirring as they try to figure out how to raise prices without losing customers and their business.
I've seen our competitors raise prices, and we'll be making some changes, working with our retailers to see what the tolerances are. But I'm afraid this is going to be ongoing. I think we're in this for a while.
The question now becomes who in this industry survives? The breweries, wineries, and retailers, who will supply amid this inflation? Because the demand for alcohol always remains strong. For CBS Saturday Morning, I'm Scott MacFarlane in Brookville, Maryland.
See what he did there. See what he did there.
It'll be interesting to see. When he was saying that, my thought was if you start raising prices, I don't think it's going to be like gas where it gets lowered again. I think they stay.
It'll stay that way?
Just a guess.
So the one thing that could help us feel better about all this inflation is now also going to cost more.
That is true. That is true. Sorry to tell you that on your holiday weekend.